Mount Pleasant leaders taking action to prevent systemic racism in the town of Mount Pleasant. The police, judicial, and legal committees meeting today to discuss a resolution that would declare racism a public health threat. News 2's Riley Benson sat in on that meeting and spoke with the person who's behind the resolution.
Town officials moving forward with a resolution to declare racism a public health crisis. Leaders say they're hoping this is an opportunity to lead the way.
We want to be an example of how communities can work together, and listening to each other like this, I think, is what has kept the peace in Mount Pleasant.
The resolution proposed by the African American Settlement Community Historic Commission calls for racism to be declared a public health crisis in the town of Mount Pleasant.
This was an organization that is homegrown in Mount Pleasant coming and saying we're doing things right. Strengthening
the relations with the Mount Pleasant community as a whole is the goal for leaders.
We want to talk about all race relations, not just black-white.
The commission's president, John Wright, says Mount Pleasant has a smaller African American population than surrounding communities, but says if the town were to take the steps, it would be setting the bar.
I think today is a really good day in Mount Pleasant to have that opportunity to create the dialogue that I think is much needed.
The resolution is something that leaders are hoping will spark a community conversation.
We're going to look to the public. We're going to look for some public engagement to make sure that we get everybody at the table that needs to be at the table.
Mayor Haney says the town will work with groups on the resolution, including its newly formed African American Historical Settlement Community Task Force.
We want that to get formed, and we want greater input. We want this to be a document that will not just be symbolic, but will stand the test of time.
The Police, Judicial, and Legal Committee is expected to work on the context of the resolution before bringing it to Town Council as a whole. In Mount Pleasant, Riley Benson, Count on 2.